Hey guys, Muffin Game back today, bringing a video for our weapon conversion series, and today we're going to show you all of the builds you can make with the AK-74U, or how is it called in real life, the AKS 74U. So obviously its name is changed in game, probably for some sort of copyright purposes. Not sure the purpose. We see it with a lot of guns. Typically the Russian weapons they're able to name correctly, but we'll go through all the different builds for the AKS 74U, conversions, different variations of the weapon. So let's go ahead and back out and we'll jump right into it. First off, I'll back out and we'll start with the base weapon itself. So here we have the AK-74U. Now, if we go ahead and select it, you can see this is actually it's called the AKS-74U in real life. So it's also under the submachine gun category, which is incorrect. This weapon fires 545 by 39 millimeter. With these are rifle rounds for basically the Russian equivalent to the 556 by 45 NATO. So this is 545 by 39 millimeter, and again, this is basically a short-barreled assault rifle. It is not a submachine gun. So the AKS-74U is just a compact AK-74, essentially, is what this weapon is. So you can see the magazine there, still the same the AK-74 545 mags. Let's go ahead and back out, and we'll jump into the first build for this weapon. So is the AKS-74UB. So if the base weapon itself is the AKS-74U, the AKS-74UB is the version of the weapon which has the integrated muzzle adapter for the suppressor. So we'll take the base AKS-74U, and what we'll do is spice it up. We'll put the Cobra red dot optic on here since it is a Russian optic. So this is going to be the 1.75 times magnification on this weapon. We'll go ahead and put that on. And then again, the weapon itself in real life would have an adapter here. You wouldn't get that base muzzle that you see there on the screen. You would have an adapter that would be available for this weapon that would be able to take a PBS-4 suppressor or the GRU suppressor here. Now, the GRU suppressor in-game is going to be 100% for the muzzle flash concealment, so keep you off the radar, and 7% vertical recoil control. The cons are going to be the effective damage at range. So we'll go ahead and put that on. That's the PBS-4 suppressor, and that right there is essentially our AKS-74UB, standing for suppress. So that is our suppressed AKS-74U with that PBS-4 suppressor. Obviously, it would just have a muzzle adapter on there to be able to accept the PBS-4. So that's our UB variant of the AKS-74U. Now let's go to the next one, is the SR3 Vickers. So this is actually a more modernized type of variation of the AS-VAL. This came later on down the road in 1996 is when it was put in service. Design period was from 1989 through 1994. So let's go ahead and we'll strip this weapon down to base here. Whoops. And we'll just build this from scratch. So the SR3, again, this fires 9 by 39 millimeters, same as the AS-VAL. So first off, again, we'll just start with a Russian optic here. We'll get the Cobra red dot sight. So go ahead and put that on. And now the muzzle, again, we can actually leave this one blank for this particular version. Now the SR3 Vicker had a detachable suppressor, unlike the AS-VAL and the VSS Vintorez, which had integrally suppressed weapons or barrels. So those were integrally suppressed with you could not remove the suppressor. Here on the SR3, you could remove the suppressor. So for the muzzle, we'll actually leave it blank here. We're going to go with the 9.3 extended. So we'll go ahead and put that on. Now for the underbarrel attachment, we'll actually leave that blank. The magazine, we're going to want either the 40-round speed mag or the VDV 50-round fast mag here. So again, you can see the magazines change this to basically the SR3 30-round magazine of a 9 by 39 millimeter, same that you see in the AS-VAL essentially in Modern Warfare. So you can see the difference there. If I go ahead and deselect that, you can see how that looks there. And also part of the mag well also changes with that barrel that we put on. So let's go ahead and we'll put on the 50-round fast mag there, and that is our magazine that we want for the SR3. Now for the stock, we're going to want the KGB skeleton stock. This is going to assist with the sprint to fire speed, the aim walking movement speed, and the cons are going to be the hip fire accuracy reduced by 30%. So we'll put that on. Now one thing to know here with the magazine, this does not actually change the ammo. You're still firing the base 545 by 39 assault rifle round or rifle rounds. So here with the fast mag, although it does appear to be a 30-round magazine of 9 by 39, it is still 545 by 39 millimeters. So keep that in mind. This is a magazine ammo capacity is going to be up from 30 rounds to 50 rounds. The reload quickness, obviously because it's a fast mag, max start on ammo will be up 67% as well as ammo capacity. The cons are the ADS speed is going to be reduced by 25%. So that is basically everything we want on our SR3. Now you can actually use two different barrel options here. You can use the 9.3 extended, but ideally for the SR3, something like a 10.3 Liberator. However, the problem is the barrel is just a little longer. The SR3, really, when you detach the suppressor, has a very short barrel on it. The barrel length overall is going to be 6.4 inches with the suppressor detached from the weapon. So obviously both of these barrel lengths are not going to be correct, but for cosmetic purposes, to just keep this short barrel look, you can go with a 9.3 extended, even though that itself is a little bit too long. Now, one thing to note with this weapon, although you're able to cosmetically somewhat reproduce the weapon, the whole upper receiver of the weapon, essentially the dust cover and everything like that, is still that of the base AKS 74U, so you don't really have a proper dust cover or anything. Really, the whole upper part of the gun, not the whole upper receiver, because the barrel kind of looks correct, but dust cover, iron sights, everything like that, not correct for an SR3, so just keep that in mind. Although the barrel option or the handguard there does change the magwell to fit somewhat of an AS-VAL SR3 look on it. So that's our SR3. Now again, the SR3 again here, just with the detachable suppressor, would be put on with this particular build. So this is going to be the same exact build with the same exact attachments. What we're going to do is we're just going to attach a PPS4 suppressor or the GRU suppressor for the muzzle flash concealment and the vertical recoil control. The cons are going to be the effective damage range on this weapon. So you can see that look overall. We're running the same barrel. Actually, for this one, I'm running, I believe, the 10.3 Liberator, just again because you have the suppressor on there, so you don't get to see that barrel. So the handguard looks more closely resembling to an SR3. Still a little off, not exact. And again, the same issues with the SR3 that we just discussed with the dust cover and the sights and everything like that are not 100%. You still have the stamped receiver of the AKS 74U on this weapon, which is not correct. But cosmetically, it looks almost kind of close. You have the right stock. Things like that are pretty close. You just throw on that GRU suppressor, and you have the suppressed version of the SR3. Now, if we back out, we'll cover the VSS Vintorez. So we'll go ahead and strip this weapon down to base so we can build it from scratch, and it definitely is a little bit more difficult to detach all the attachments here. You can't just do it with one button, I don't believe. So first off, since we're building the VSS Vintorez, it's going to be the special sniper rifle variant here. So what we're going to do is for the optic, we'll go ahead and put the axle arms 3 times. We don't have a proper optic that we put on for a sniper magnification scope for this weapon. You could use a SUSAP, but that's a UK optic, so I think the axle arms, even though it's an American optic, it's probably the closest you can get to something resembling a Russian sniper scope. So we'll go ahead and put on the 3 times optic there. I think we just glitched a little bit. There we go, 3 times optic. Now the muzzle attachment, again, we're going to want the GRU suppressor for the same pros and cons. Now keep an eye, again, when we attach the right barrel here, how it's going to change. We're going to go with the 9.3 extended. Now you can see how that changes the handguard as well as the magwell there. You can see the magwell where that magazine is being put into the weapon right there in the magwell below or in front of the handguard, I should say, and you see the trigger guard there as well. So for the barrel, now we put on the 9.3 extended. You can see how that magwell changes to that of a SR3 or a VSS or even an AS-VAL. You can see the difference right there. Just swapping back to something more so resembling the AKS 74U, you can see the difference, how it changes that part of the weapon, which is pretty neat. So we'll go ahead and put that on. Body we can skip, as well as the underbarrel. Magazine, again, we're going to want either the 40 or the 50 round fast mags here to resemble that of a 30 round 9x39mm magazine. For the handle, we can actually skip that, and then for the stock, we're going to want the, even though it's called the Spetsnaz PKM stock, it's unfortunately not a PKM stock, that is a VSS stock. So again, just the standard wooden stock for the VSS. Now this will increase your shooting movement speed by 5%, aim walking movement speed by 15%, and the hip fire accuracy by 15%. So we'll go ahead and put that on. And that is our VSS Vintorez. Again, this is a special sniper rifle firing 9x39mm rounds. Now we covered this in conversions, and I believe we already did. We may have done the conversion prior to this for this game as well, a full-on video for it, as well as in Modern Warfare. We covered this as well when this came out as the AS-VAL. We can convert this to the VSS. So I'll try and link those videos down below. So that is our VSS Vintorez. Now let's cover the AS-VAL. Again, very similar options here, what we're going to do is we will, actually, probably don't need to strip all this down. We're going to run the same Cobra optic here, again, just to give it that Russian optic. Muzzle is going to be the GRU suppressor or the PBS4, again, which turns it cosmetically from a PBS4 into somewhat more so resembling that of a AS-VAL or a SR3 suppressor. Now, again, for the handguard, we're going to put, or the barrel, we're going to put the 9.3 extended, which will change the handguard and the magwell on the weapon. You can see there, same as the VSS. And then for the magazine, again, we're going to run either the 50 fast or the 40 round fast mag. And then the stock option will be different here from what we did with the VSS with the PKM stock to the KGB skeleton stock. Same as the SR3s, we'll give it that AS-VAL SR3 type stock. And again, that'll increase your sprint to fire time by 30% and the aim walking movement speed by 10%. The cons here are going to be hip fire accuracy. So we'll go ahead and select that. And those are all the attachments. That is our, let's go ahead and preview it. This is our AS-VAL here in the game. Now again, by selecting these 9x39 magazines, it does not up your damage or anything. It doesn't change the caliber of the weapon. So it's not a true conversion. It's still an AKS 74U 4.545 by 39mm. Also, things like the charging handle and dust cover, parts of the upper receiver, the stamp receiver are still that of the AKS 74U. So this is an interesting type of conversion that they did here. Not sure why this was put in game without the proper ammo conversions, things like that, but interesting nonetheless. I think it was mainly a scramble to try and get Gunsmith in this game last minute, and that this is really what we got last minute, unfortunately. Next up, just a fun-looking variant for the AKS 74U. For the optic, if we want to try and make it look a little bit more modern-ish and fun-looking, we'll run the Hawksmoor. This is going to be American Reflex with a 1.3 times magnification. Muzzle will run that PBS4 again, or the GRU suppressor. But we'll go on the base barrel here just to keep that AKS 74U barrel. The body will run a steady aim laser just for hip fire accuracy. Again, this is really personal preference. You can run whichever one you wanted. Underbarrel, we're going to run the Bruiser Grip. Built this mainly for mobility. It's going to increase our movement speed, shooting movement speed, sprinting movement speed, and aim walking movement speed. And then the magazine, we'll just run that Spetsnaz 50-round drum magazine, which is kind of a fun choice. So you can see there, I tried to build something somewhat of a more modernized Zeneco type AKS 74U. Obviously, we can't do any sort of Zeneco type attachment, so I tried to just kind of have a little fun with it. But interesting looking build, probably honestly pretty decent in Cold War multiplayer. Might not even be too bad in Warzone. But that is all of the builds for the AKS 74U here in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So again, we covered the base AKS 74U, which is labeled a submachine gun here, but it is actually an assault rifle firing 5.45 by 39. Then we covered the AKS 74UB, the SR3 unsuppressed, the SR3 with the suppressor since it is a detachable suppressor, VSS Vintorez is a special sniper rifle, also firing 9x39mm, same as the SR3, however the ammo conversion does not convert the ammo with that magazine. AS-VAL, and then just a fun version of the AKS 74U. So let me know down below what you guys think of these. Are you a little disappointed that we couldn't actually convert the weapon to a true AS-VAL SR3? I think that would have been a kind of a missed opportunity there, is to actually include ammo conversions and really change the whole entirety of the weapon to make it more so of an SR3 AS-VAL. But again, they're really completely different weapons, but if they wanted to do a true conversion of the Gunsmith, I think they could have done a little bit better adding that. But again, I think the reason behind that is that it was just a whole rushed endeavor, and so this is what we come up with. It cosmetically looks kind of close. It's pretty cool to play with, I guess. A little disappointing though, because it could have been a little bit better. But again, this is all of the attachments and conversions for the AKS 74U here in Black Ops Cold War. Let me know what you guys think down below. Till next time, Buffner Gaming, out.